Bhadram karnebi shrunuyama deva Bhadram pashyemakshabhiryajatra Sthirairangai istuštuvagam swastanobihi Vyashema devahitam yadayu Swasti na indro vrittashavaha Swasti na pusha vishwavedaha Swasti nastaksho arishtanemihi Swasti no brahaspatir dadatu Om Shanti 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 Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karuna Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Hello? Hariam? Om Namaste Ganapataye. We saw this yesterday elaborately. The Atharvashirsha Upanishad has this different approach in the way that it's written, in the sense that there is using the form of Lord Ganesha as Ishvara principle and even Brahman. The verses are written, but the idea here is always that it's Tvam, referring to Ganeshji as Tvam. And we'll see all through the Upanishad that an Upanishad in itself is where Tvam and Aham start to become this continuum rather than two separates. You almost don't know where the Tvam ends and the Aham starts. And that's the whole point of Upanishad. Because we draw these boundaries between the self and the not self. And it's the very first thing that's there in creation. And then it's the last thing that we erase before we able to attain that oneness. And so that this boundary itself is as though apparent in the use of the word Tvam. And so we already made a start, and we saw it's Tvameva Pratyaksham Tattvamasi. You are the very essence of the Mahavakyas. You are the Karta, you are the doer, and you alone are everything. So we start with the second verse, which is always this pattern is also given in the Upanishads and in the scriptures. The highest is explained, and then sadhana is explained. The highest is explained, and then sadhana is explained. Because we want the goal, the means. The goal, the means. So we see this in Gita, we see this in Bhaja Govindam, we see this in all spiritual texts. And not as much in Upanishad, but every now and then they follow the same technique. And so the next verse is Ritam Vachmi Satyam Vachmi. It's probably the smallest mantra in all of Ganapati Atharvasirsa Upanishad, but it's given its own place. And so the emphasis on the importance of it, because it's given its own place. It's not just included in the mantra, and it's not given at the very end. Remember, in Upanishad style, important things are given first. And so it's given immediately. Ritam Vachmi is to live truthfully, to speak truthfully. Satyam Vachmi, same thing. Live truthfully, speak truthfully. In the start as truth, as my truth. Right? Guru says it, it must be true. Scripture says it, it must be true. But for me, I'm looking around thinking, the world's pretty real. And so I might say the world is all an illusion, but it's not my truth. It's just an echo. Literally like a parrot. It doesn't have that same. Now for it to be given so much importance so earlier on in the Upanishad, we have to understand that the very goal of life, the very truth is truth. And so the means can only be living by truth, living by dharma. And because we see a lot of this sadhana in a lot of our other classes, and time restraints here, I'm not going to dwell on that, and I'm going to dwell on more the Upanishad mantras, but it's a full-time sadhana. Before you say it, is it truth? If it's not, we shouldn't be saying it. Means we have to verify. Anything we say, we have to verify. Otherwise, we shouldn't be saying it. You know, if a speaker came and told you, Upanishad says da 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 da, they have to be able to verify. Here, it's saying it. And that's why Gurudev would insist, you'll have to have the books. Because what if speaker lies? Just closes the book and says, Upanishad says y'all should all grow your hair. No way it's written, but I can hold the book and say it. Truth is a constant awareness to make sure that it's so. There has to be inquiry. Who said? Is it actually so? You know, today we get forwards, WhatsApps. Somebody will tell you to eat something, to put some lotion, to put some of this, hang something in your house, do something there. If we just did everything, how much of what we get is not true? And sometimes they'll say, scientists say. Which scientists? When did they say it? Which experiment did they base it on? Which scientific law did they base it on? So much of it is not true. But we'll get one WhatsApp video, see it, change our diet. One WhatsApp video. And we have to live constantly vigilant, constantly inquiring. Is this true? Even half the things we say to each other are not truths. Actually, probably more than half the things we say to each other are opinions. It's not truth. Gurudev used to jokingly say, the Kerala food is the best, because that's what he grew up with. Or not jokingly, casually. Mahatma has said it. Has to be true. Is it a truth? Even though Gurudev said it, is it a truth? It's a opinion. If Gurudev says Tattvamasi, is it a truth? But if he says Kerala food's the best, is it a truth? We have to check. We have to check. I'm giving very simple examples, right? But most of what we say is not truth. Most of what we say is opinion. Most of what we repeat, we haven't validated. Is it true? We haven't checked. And sometimes the consequences of it can be quite nerve-wracking for other people, causes unnecessary restlessness in people's minds. But like I said, Upanishad is giving just the ishara, the implication of it, we can actually, our whole life, we have to keep checking. And then it goes, Avattvamam, Avavaktaram, Avashrotaram, Avadhataram, Avadhataram, Avanujanam, Avashishyam, Avapaschyatat, Avapurastat, Avotaratat, Avadakshinatat, Avachodvatat, Avadharatat, Sarvato mam pahi pahi samantat. So the highest knowledge is given, sadhana is given, and now this is a prayer. This is a prayer of how we want to be able to live our lives. And so even in terms of our spiritual processes, this is usually, actually we usually start with prayer. Please, God, help. Then we start practicing japa, tapa, all of that. Then the mind is purified and we get the highest. But Upanishad assumes you are already Brahman and understand. And so it starts with highest. And then it goes down. No, it's true. Upanishad assumes you already know that you are Brahman. And so it will give, oh, you didn't understand? Okay, one notch down. Oh, okay, one notch down. But even this prayer is so, so, so beautiful. Avattvamam, please protect me. From what? Me. Not that I have to be protected from anything else. I have to be protected from me. All my own thoughts is what cause all the restlessness in my life. All my misunderstandings is what causes the problems in my life. You know, sometimes we'll be thinking something and we don't want to be thinking it, and we tell ourselves, now drop this, no need. And tung comes back. Almost like those records, or you know, if somebody plays a practical joke and then if you press stop, but it starts again. So, our mind constantly playing that practical joke on us. We say stop, but it starts again. Stop, starts again. So protect me from me. And gosh, how many things I do within myself that I need protecting from. My own ignorance, my own attachment to my body, my own attachment to my likes and dislikes, my attachments to then 300 things in the world outside. Just attachment, my list is so long that I need protecting from. Then my insecurities. Again, very long the list will be of all my insecurities. And then these insecurities will create doubts within my own mind for me to be able to follow the spiritual pursuit. So please protect me from me. Because I am my greatest obstacle. Because Guru has already said, you are Brahman. I should have heard, I am Brahman. Got it. Right? If you ask me, you know, I need the keys, and I'll say it's on the counter. You'll go counter, got it. If you ask, where is happiness? Inside. You should be gone inside and said, got it. Guru is perpetually saying happiness is inside, and you're like, where? Inside. No, can't find, cannot la. Why are we not getting it when it's so easy? Because we are our own obstacles. And so we need protecting from our own resistance. And it's also very nicely explained that, when you're moving house, then you lift the sofa up to take it. We're leaving, vacating now, right? Exiting. You'll understand the analogy as you go. So when you have to leave, you have to start packing up things. So sofa taken, gone. And then all those cockroaches that were living underneath the sofa, shwing. You didn't get rid of them. Where did they go? To the nearby cabinets. Now they are under the cabinets. But you need to vacate. So you take the cabinet and you out. Now where those cockroaches all go? Shwing. They're not so easy to get rid of. We might be able to get off the big, some big desire we have to get married. Chalo, get married. That desire's gone. The ego hasn't. The desirer hasn't gone. It's just moved somewhere else. You able to try and move out every bit of furniture in the house? Where's the cockroaches? Gone into some holes. They're not so easy to get rid of. Our ego's the same. Not so easy to get rid of. We think we've handled the ego in this scenario, it escapes into another scenario. I was very insecure and that was my ego. My ego was creating so much insecurity and doubt. Now I am confident because I am Brahman. Ego has gone into something else. Either a desire, a dislike, a jealousy. Deal with this jealousy now. I am no longer jealous of you. You didn't know I was jealous of you, but I'm telling you, for the last 7 years I was jealous of you. I'm no longer jealous of you. I give you a big hug. You are now my soul sister. Jealousy gone. Then what will ego do? It will find. Until I go to Mars, not happy. It will find something to distract us, arrest our attention, create 300 different thoughts per minute about that thing that we get preoccupied. Protect me from me, avatvam mam, avavaktaram. Protect me from the speaker, or protect the speaker, the guru, the one that we are listening to. It's explained so beautifully, that story of the Ramayana where the squirrel is. Most of you all are familiar with that story. The monkey, the Vanara army used to put the big boulders. But the big boulders would have lots of gaps in between. And if the rocks weren't cemented together, it was mantra that was making the rocks afloat, but we needed something to cement them together, and so these squirrels were helping. You all are familiar with the story, right? So the scriptures do give the rocks. The mantras of the scriptures are the big rocks. But the guru is the one that fills up the gaps in the understanding. And if we don't fill up those gaps in the understanding, we'll keep having doubts. And the conviction is not strong. So we pray for the protection of the speaker. Because unless these gaps in our understanding are filled up, it's not concretized in our understanding. Yeah? And so it's a blessing. Scriptures give us what is needed, but it doesn't give us everything. A living person to teach and explain it, very, very necessary. And therefore, second, after me, protect teacher, because that's what? That's where this knowledge is going to come from. That's the one that's constantly reminding us to do it. The book I might read and then never pick up again. Person, you can't. They'll keep saying, so, how's it going? How's your sadhana? Are you still doing your japa? Book won't do that. Book won't look at you saying, when you are trying to get away with something. And so the person that's a living inspiration, because this book can go in the drawer and never come back out again. The mantra can be heard and we can completely forget what the mantra was. So, Vaktaram, to protect the teacher and also to protect us. So that when we are in the listening process, we take what's good, we take what is best for us. We listen with the intention to understand what's said, and we don't get distracted by the way they look, or they don't get distracted by the accent, and we don't get distracted by all the superficialities. Avashotranam, protect the listener, the one listening to this knowledge, so that the space that is created between the person speaking and the person listening is sacred. Yeah. And actually what we're asking for is protecting of our listening. Yeah. So that we don't keep getting distracted. And when we listen, we should understand the full import of what's being said. Because so easily we can misunderstand. Or some joke is told in the class, and then the only thing we remember after the class is the joke. But what about Upanishad? She said something. So often that will happen. So protect the listening so that I'm remembering from the listening what is important for me to remember. Avadhataram, avadhataram. So in fact, these are all very, very beautiful verses that we can go into longer, but time is not going to permit. The one who supports. So the one who supports can be seen again as Guru because they are holding this knowledge and supporting it and keeping it alive. But it can also be seen as like anything that is given to support. So donations that are given to support the process of the classes. And people might donate in monetary form, or in their seva, or in their time, in so many different ways. And so dhataram is that giving, anything that is given to help the process. Right? Sometimes somebody will give the house, somebody will give a book, somebody will give the fans because it's too hot and people can't concentrate. So all of that, may that be protected. Sarvato mam pahi pahi samantat is this is the prayer. It's that, please protect me from, and so it's all the directions are given, and actually the directions are always given for a reason. So we ask for protection from the east, and the east represents sunrise, right? And so creation. Now why would we need protection from creation? And it's the same reason we never really worship Brahmaji, because we keep creating too much. Our mind is constantly creating stories, creating excuses, creating... and sometimes we already have so much to do, and then more is created. And so we should create. Creativity is beautiful, but not necessarily to add to what we already have so that it becomes too much that we can't do, or add to in a way that it distracts us from going inwards and it turns us more and more outwards, right? Another project, another this, another, and then again we all continuously turned outwards. So, but let it be that we go inwards. And then protection from the west. West is where the sun sets, so it's laya, it's the endings. So now in this way, east is that constant creativity, it's the avalanche of thoughts that go on in our mind, vikshepa shakti. You would have heard it, it's that, the projecting. Laya is avarna shakti, the deluding. So protect me from my mind constantly making up stories, protect me from my mind being deluded. Or in class sometimes, Laya is even going to sleep. My mind becomes so dull, like sometimes you're struggling, you're telling yourself, wake up, but what to do, Swamini ji? Your voice is like a lullaby. Protect me. From what? Me. Falling asleep when I'm trying to listen to something so beautifully important. North. North is considered sannyas. Renunciation, vairagya. Now why would I need protection from that? In fact, go quickly. We're not yet ready. So let me do as much as I am ready for, because if I do more than what I'm ready for, I'll hurt myself. Anything, even in exercise, right? If I suddenly say tomorrow running 10-kilometer marathon, I'll be huffing and puffing and I would have injured something and then you'll have to take me to the hospital to put me on the drips because I'm dehydrated and the heart went too fast. Yeah, but somebody who's trained can go. So let me be protected to do only as much as I am ready for, and build myself up to do more. So even that, let us protect me from my own haste, which then leads to waste. Protect me from the sat. Sat is death. Actually, spiritual students are not scared of death. But it's any calamitous things that can happen that would lead to untimely. But in the truest sense, there's no fear of death. So protect me from all directions, from above and below. Above and below are the heavens, my punya. I need protecting, because even that can become a huge distraction. And protect me from my pap well. Needs no explanation. My pap is what will take me away from satsang. We should never underestimate. Sometimes we are so privileged and we can be sitting in satsang, listening to this beautiful knowledge. But when my mind becomes suddenly selfish, suddenly a desire for anything, senses or power, or I'm no longer in satsang. And giving into that will perpetuate that path, and it takes me away. I won't even physically get to satsang anymore. Instead of sitting in satsang, I will go somewhere else. Just because I have satsang doesn't mean I'm going to keep getting it. Punya has to be done to make sure we stay in satsang. Punya in the form of seva and immense respect for it, immense gratitude for it. And remember, anything we do, if we don't have that gratitude and respect for it, it doesn't bless us. When we earn money in a selfish way, that money won't bless us. Kids will become spoiled. Husband and wife will start fighting about it. About what? The money. Even this, when we receive without reverence and without respect, it won't bless us. It will make us arrogant. It will make us careless. And so our frame of mind is extremely important. Our punya and papa are manifesting in what comes to us. If satsang comes to us, it's punya. In satsang, when we start finding faults, pap. Catch it straight away. Don't give in to it. Now, that spiritual life is living a life of constant vigilance. Constant vigilance. Vigilance is the key word to spiritual success. Tvam vangmayastvam chinmayah, tvam anandamayastvam brahmamayah, Tvam Satchidananda Dvitiyosi, Tvam Pratyaksham Brahmasi, Tvam Jnanamayo Vijnanamayosi. So now we go back to Upanishad. Last verse was a mantra in prayer. Even though in that mantra, true, there is revealing about the happenings of what's going on in our own mind. It's not just talking about the directions. It's talking about, in my mind, which direction the thoughts go. Right? Above is punya. Below is papa. Right? North is in the right direction. Right? We should continue. North is our, what's the word? No, not the word for north. Means it's where we have to keep our vision focused, right? It's our goal. Yeah. There's a nicer poetic word, but I'm not remembering it. It's our goal. And here now we go back to the highest. Tvam Vangmayas. Vang is speech. So it's saying, Lord Ganesha, you are Vangmaya. And so one of the benefits of Ganapati Atharvashirsha is that when we chant it regularly, we become more eloquent as speakers. And maybe not poetic, but when we speak, people understand what we say. Yeah. That's huge, because so often when we speak, people don't understand or misunderstand. So to have the blessing that Lord Ganesha, that when I speak, my speech actually communicates what my heart intends is huge. That's one of the reasons Ganapati Atharvashirsha is so popular, because this is one of the phala. We're not going to be doing the phala shruti, but this is one of the phala of. Vangmaya is speech. So now speech can be seen in different ways, but I'm going to do it only completely from the Upanishadic way. Even though speech itself can be a sadhana, how we speak, there's so many rules about how we speak, but I'm going to do this from Upanishadic level. So if those people who don't believe there's a God and God created the world, they will say, science says the world was created from Big Bang. What's this bang? Sound. And so all of creation started from sound. And all of creation continues with sound. So there's a substratum that we don't quite comprehend. On that substratum, there is a substratum of sound. And then on the substratum of sound is all the languages that we create based on this medium of sound. Right? All the animals make their language, we make our language, even no language we make. There's no language, but it communicates very effectively what I want to communicate. Sound, in terms of creation, is created with sound, then continues with sound, is sustained by. And all this sound is you, Ganesha. So where will I find Lord Ganesha? Any time any sound is made, including me. So when you are talking, Ganesha. When I am talking, Ganesha. Tvam Vangmaya means he is the Lord of sound, or he is sound himself. Because Maya can mean different things. Maya can mean one, full of, which is the next word, Chinmaya. In Chinmaya, Maya means full of chin. Maya can also mean modification. Like we say, Anandamaya Kosha. Food modified becomes body. Maya means it changed. My body is nothing but food. But you don't see idli, vada. It gets modified to become beautiful hand, or not so beautiful hand. Maya means as itself. Little bit hard to translate in English. So it's speech itself. Tvam Vangmaya means you are speech itself. No modification. It's the S. You are it. All the Vedas is speech. Every single scripture, any religion, is nothing but speech. All our thoughts, we saw this yesterday. Our thoughts are speech. Vangmaya. But remember yesterday also in the Shanti Mantra, Badram Karnebi. All my thoughts are Ganesha. Let them be Badram. If I remember my thoughts are Ganesha, then those thoughts become Badram. I can't think my thoughts are Ganesha and think I want to kill you. Won't happen. If my thoughts are Ganesha, what kind of thoughts am I going to start thinking? What thoughts will I allow? If I kill you comes into mind, I'll think, and that is Ganesha, telling me such a thought is not acceptable in my mind. Bhadram, immediately Bhadram. Even what is not auspicious will become auspicious if I keep this in my awareness, that he is Vangmaya. Tvam Vangmaya becomes Aham. Because where is this Vang? Me, right? I'm speaking. And even while you're listening, you've got running commentary going on in your head. So Vangmaya is not Tvam alone, even though I'm saying Tvam. It's existing in Aham. And that's why I said this beautiful thing in Upanishad is, where does Tvam end and where does Aham start? I'm constantly seeing it within. Even though I'm saying Tvam Vangmaya, I'm saying. The one saying is using Vang. It's coming from me, even though I'm saying you are. And so as much as it is in you, it's in me. And it becomes Mahavakya. As you are, actually I am. Because I'm the one saying. Tvam Vangmaya. Tvam Chinmaya. For us, sentimental. Gurudev's name is a Mahavakya in itself. Just the name, Chinmaya. Because the one who is saying, you are consciousness, has to be conscious. I have to be conscious to say, you are consciousness. Without consciousness, I cannot say. And what kind of consciousness is Chinmaya? That consciousness which is sentient, alive, dynamic. That consciousness which is Sat and never changing. That consciousness which never ends. Because Sat itself becomes Chit. Sat is that which can never be negated and so never ends, that which goes through no modification and always is. It's the isness that never becomes anything else. It's that which continues and continues and continues. Consciousness which can never be negated, consciousness which is never modified, consciousness which never ends, is Chinmaya. And that consciousness is the ability by which we know everything, and so it is the knower of all without needing to be the knower. Conscious itself knows everything without needing to be the knower. You and I need to know. And if somebody says something and we all, I know. Whereas consciousness does not feel any need to be the knower. It's devoid of desire. It's just the very knowing principle. And it doesn't have any distinction between the knower, known, and knowing process. It's the very effulgence itself which knows itself. Tvam Chinmayaha. Who? Ganapati. Who? Me. Am I not experiencing Chinmayaha when I even turn my mind to it? In the very saying Tvam Chinmayaha, I cognize Chit, even though Chit cannot be cognized. But in the process of cognizing it, if I truly am able to understand what consciousness is, then all I will ever do after that is recognize it again and again and again, because it is everywhere, all pervading, all the time. Tvam Chinmaya. Who? Me. Consciousness is pervading me. I am full of consciousness, but I turn my attention to all these other faltu things and not the very consciousness within me that pervades everything, that is never ending, that is so beautifully joyful. If I just stay with consciousness and I don't allow any other thought to consume my attention, there is such stillness in that being. But that stillness is dynamic, it's vibrant, it's alive. It's not stillness of I'm going to go to sleep now. It's the stillness of relief. It's the stillness of that, when we say Sharanam and we find that haven is within, in that very consciousness that pervades every thought that I am thinking. The very fact that I am thinking, consciousness is there to illuminate, and I am that consciousness that is constantly illuminating. I am Chinmaya. And so it really doesn't matter which thought comes and goes. Let the thought be anything. I don't need to think about it. I need to only stay with the consciousness that illumines. So, Tvam Vangmayas Tvam Chinmayaha. Tvam Sat Chit Ananda. We've been seeing, we saw Sat. Sat yesterday we saw when we spoke about Tattvamasi. It's the very existence. Chit we've just seen in the understanding of Chinmaya. Chinmaya becomes, Chit becomes Chin when it's merged with the word Maya. So it's Chitmaya. But Sandhi rules change it into Chinmaya. So it's the same word. Sat Chit Ananda. What kind of happiness do we want? The kind of happiness that never ends. And so what we want is happiness beyond the confines of time and space. Because what we're experiencing now is time-bound, space-bound, object-bound happiness. I'm only happy when I'm with you. I'm only happy when the day is over. I'm only happy when I'm in the ashram. Space-bound, time-bound, object-bound. But what we want is happiness which is not bound. What is not bound? Only Sat. Also, our minds don't understand what is not bound. If I tell you to think of space, we can think of this room. The walls, let them be there, and think of space beyond this room. Already a little bit hard, but you can do it. Keep going till you exit Singapore. Space, keep going. Are you with me? Can you think of space beyond Singapore? Or have you started thinking of a map? A map is not space. A map is an object. Can you just think of space as far as it goes further than Singapore? Not so easy. Keep going. Further than the earth. Yeah, of course, we have to go fast. Can you? Not many people can. We can't understand no boundary. Our mind is used to thinking of boundaries. Our mind makes sense of the boundary. Doesn't make sense of no boundary. When we look out to the horizon, we see horizon. We don't see all the space. We see horizon, boundary. We used to finding the boundary. So, in Taittiriya Upanishad, the mantra is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. The description given of Brahman is Sat, Chit, Anantam. But we can't understand. You and I cannot understand Anantam. When is this class ending? Not ending. I will stop talking, but the lesson doesn't end. Does it end? Can consciousness end? Can the truth of what we're saying end? It won't end, right? But after class, no need to think about it. Then we think about sambar, utma. We want end. So we cannot understand Anantam. We are looking for end. So Rishis changed it. Instead of Satyam Jnanam Anantam, because we weren't getting Anantam, you want happiness? Yeah. Satyam, Sat, Chit, Ananda. Ananda we can understand. I want, give. At least what the mind can relate. But that Ananda that I want has to be Anant. Because the time-bound, space-bound Ananda that I already have, I'm not happy with. I want Anant. So following Ananda, I will reach to no boundary. So I'll go back to Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. But to help me get to it, it got shortened into Sat, Chit, Ananda. And they're the same. Why are they the same? Because the Ananda I want has to be Sat, has to be real happiness. I don't want unreal happiness. Sentient, dynamic, beautiful happiness. What Ananda do I want? The one that never ends. It has to be Sat. It has to be Chit, because I have to be able to feel it. I don't want Ananda for you. I want it for me. After I have it for me, I'll be compassionate enough to want for you. But if you have it and I don't, I'll become very nasty. So consciousness, I have to be aware of the Ananda. I have to be able to feel it and rejoice in it. The Ananda I want, it has to be Chit. Has to be Chinmaya. So, Tvam Satchidananda. Where am I? No. Tvam Anandamayo. Tvam Brahmamaya. All this together is Brahman. And this is Dvitiyosi, without any second. Actually, we can go into the whole realm of duality, but time is not going to be permitting us to go. Tvam Pratyaksham Brahmasi. You are this alone. You have this Brahman itself. Direct. Not via. What we are experiencing is via. I get happy when I give you a hug. Means via. Via you my happiness comes. I get happy when I hear a nice bhajan. My happiness is via. Consciousness. How do I know of consciousness? When I think a thought, I know that the consciousness has to be there for me to know the thought. And so how do I know consciousness? Via my thoughts. I'm not seeing it direct. I'm going. At the moment I need to, because that's the only way I do, but finally I want to be able to sit without the thoughts, be able to just revel in consciousness, without the objects, be able to revel in just Ananda. Without the name and form, be able to revel in Sat. Tvam Pratyaksham Brahmasi. Tvam Jnanamayo Vijnanamayosi. You are the knowledge, Jnana. When Guru is teaching and I hear, it is Jnana. Guru has Vijnana. But when I hear it, I have jnana. Until it becomes vijnana. You all are familiar with these words because you all have studied the Gita and Upanishads before, so I'm not going to go into it elaborately. So you are both, meaning, again, everything is Mahavakya in Upanishad. You are Guru. You are student. If Guru is Ganesh, if student is Ganesh, Guru and student are Tvam Jnanamayo Vijnanamasi. And even the translating of going from Jnana to Vijnana, Tvam. The knowledge itself. Guru who is talking the knowledge, Ganesh. The knowledge being spoken, Ganesh. The one listening to the knowledge, Ganesh. When that knowledge becomes digested to become their own Vijnana, Ganesh. Yeah. There's no difference. It's using words like jnana and vijnana, but it's telling us that between the tvam and the aham, there's no line. There's no boundary. We draw the boundary. Just like between the space inside this room and outside the room, there's no boundary. But we build the boundary. And we build it so pakka that we feel we cannot tear it down. Protect me from me. Protect me from that feeling that I can't get rid of the boundary. Because actually the boundary doesn't exist. There's no need to get rid of it. Protect me from having the misconception that this boundary is there to start with. The boundary between tvam and aham. Because you alone are. There isn't even me, there isn't even tvam. There is just sat. Continuous, undivided, untainted, unbroken. Chit. Ananda. So the mantras are so, so, so beautiful. And we're doing it quickly, but you can really just revel in these mantras. We'll do one more. I'll be ending at 8:15. For anybody who has to leave at 8, please do. I will not object. Sarvam jagadidam tvatto jayate, sarvam jagaditam tvattastishtati, sarvam jagaditam tvailayam eshyati, sarvam jagaditam tvai pratyeti, tvam bhumirapo nalo nilo navaha, tvam chatvari vakpadani. Sarvam jagadidam tvakto jayate. Everything rises. Everything is born in you, Ganesha, tvam. Sarvam jagadidam tishtati. Everything stays in you, is sustained by you. Sarvam jagadidam tvayalayam eshyati. Everything absorbs back into you. So for anybody here who has studied Gita and who has studied the Upanishads, this is a recurring theme. From that which everything rises, in that which everything is sustained, in that which everything dissolves. Here it's being said, Ganesha, Tvam. In Ganesha, everything rises. In Ganesha, everything is sustained. In Ganesha, everything. So here it's actually very, very, very beautiful. If we think of this ritual that we do every year on Ganesh Chaturthi, we get mud or we get turmeric. We get turmeric and we make one nice, small, little form. Sarvam jagadidam jayate. It is born. What is born? Form. All forms. Every single form. In form, there has to be name, right? Before baby is born, parents are already thinking what to name. Because the minute there's a form, we have to give name. Scientists will now discover one new planet, have to give it a name. Within our body, they went to quarks. You all know what are quarks? They're the smallest particle that exists today that we know of. Probably there's smaller ones also which we don't know yet of. But right now we know of one. So when they discovered it, they didn't know what to call it. They had to come up with name. Why they came up with quat? Sarvam jagadidam jayate. Every form. Every name. All these forms and all these names exist in time. Came, goes. There's time. Exist in space. Form has to have a place. It can move, but wherever it moves, there has to be space. So we have nama, rupa, kala, desha. All of it packed into Ganesha. Y'all with me? We made, right? We made one nice turmeric Ganesha. What is this turmeric Ganesha made up of? Nama, rupa, desha, kala. Everything. Like you get decant coffee, means so much coffee they make into this little tablet. Or what's that perfume? That one drop and the whole room smells? Ether or something like that. One drop, huh? The whole room will smell. Why? Because it's packed in so tight. So Ganesha is decant. Nama, because it's not just his name. All. Not even all of us. Planets, galaxies, universes. Packed into your little turmeric Ganesha. Sarvam jagadidam tishtati. For as long as you want him there like that. Tishtati. Then, what will we do? Take that little Ganesha and go to the river. Go to the ocean. Sarvam jagadidam tvaya layameshyati. What have we dissolved? Nama, rupa, desha, gone. What's left? Sat, Chit, Ananda. Our putting Ganesha in the ocean is very, 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 very significant. What are we dissolving? All duality. Duality exists because of nama, rupa. Duality exists because of space and time. When we dissolve all of this, when we dissolve duality, what will remain? No more tvam and aham. Only that Sat which was there all the time, which we fail to recognize, is there. It was there. It is here. It will continue to be here. But we don't see it because nama, rupa, desha, kala. So if I'm so fascinated with Rama, Rupa, Desha, Kala, make all nama Ganesha. Make all Rupa Ganesha. Make all Kala Ganesha. Make all Desha Ganesha. And so then what am I doing? Tvam, 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 tvam. And so beautiful because I don't even know when I am doing tvam, sarvam jagadidam tvakto tishtati, that what I am actually doing is saying na aham. Because usually what I am doing is me. What about me? I want this. I think this. I believe this. No need for me. In my thinking, let it be Tvam. Even if I say, I like chocolate, let it be Tvam. Even the I am liking chocolate thought is Tvam. So instead of thinking of aham gets negated in thinking of Tvam. And then when I finally understand what Tvam was aham. But not the misconstrued aham of me being the limited body, mind, and intellect, but the essence of truly what aham is. And so in constantly offering to Tvam, and so you see the entire Upanishad is constantly saying Tvam, Vangmayas, Tvam, Chinmaya, Tvam, Anandamaya. Why? Because if I keep thinking of me, I'm limited in Nama, Rupa, Desha, Kala, and then I get too constrained within my ego identity. But if I say Tvam, then aham is surrendered in that Tvam to find the real aham. Where does Tvam start and aham end? Where does aham start and Tvam end? Doesn't. There's no ending. Endings don't exist. In Sat, there is no negation. It cannot be capped. It cannot be cut. It cannot be discontinued. There is no endings. Where does aham end? Nowhere. Where does Tvam end? Nowhere. Can they be different? Cannot. They have to be the same. Body ends, it cannot be that. Sat. This emotion ends, it cannot be that. Sat. This thought ends, it cannot be that. Sat. So what is that Sat? That alone I am. Not these things that end. And so Sarvam Jagadidam Tvai Pratyeti. And in the final ending, Pralaya. In the final ending, all Nama Rupa will end. So if in my understanding I don't get to it, it will happen eventually over the course of time. And who will do that? Tvam. But Pralaya in Puranic stories you have to wait for. Right? After thousands of years, Pralaya will happen. Pralaya in Vedant, we have to make happen. That is why we take Ganeshji, put in Visarjan. We dissolve it. In Vedanta, we create Pralaya. Because the many doesn't exist. And so when the many is dissolved, that is Pralaya. But what is it Pralaya of? The unreal. Sat can never end. There will never be Pralaya of Sat. Tvam bhumi rapo nalo nilo nabaha. You are all the 5 elements. Tvam, again. So again and again and again and again, the Upanishad is only giving us Mahavakyas. You are space, air, fire, water, earth. You. Where do we find space, air, fire, water, earth? Where do we find it? Yes. But let's start bigger. Adi Devik. All the planets, that's all they made up of. Galaxies, shooting stars. Made up of. And so Tvam is the galaxies. Space, fire, air, water, earth around us. Adi Bhotik. The walls, the plants, the you, the me, the stand, the cameras, all of it. Adi Bhotik. And then my body, made up of space, air, fire, water, earth. But I'm saying Tvam. But everything that is Tvam is aham. Everything that goes to make aham is Tvam. But since it is better for me to think of Tvam, I continue saying Tvam until in the constant offering and revering of Tvam, my aham of limited BMI dissolves. And the tvam is seen as aham. The Upanishads has only one thing to say. And it says that one thing in so many beautiful ways. If we didn't get it the first time, how can we not get it by now? How many times has it told us the same thing? In how many beautiful ways it's telling us the same thing? Which aham? There's no limited aham. Made up of what? Everything it's made up of is tvam. Chatvari vakyani. The 4 types of speech. Pujya Guruji has written it beautifully in his commentary on page 37. The first type of speech is when we have a gut sense of something, but we don't know how to say it. We've all experienced that, right? Then we have a sense of what it is, and we're rambling, but we're not actually saying it. And when you're just making sounds, but you're not yet saying what you want to say. Then it becomes a little bit more concrete. You identify the emotion or the object or the process. Then you actually say it. Now, why this is emphasized here that Ganesha is, again, we've already seen Vangmaya. So in a way, this is repetition to say he is speech. But speech is what we do our sadhana of. Right? Speech is so much of our existence. But more in the sense that when we say Tvam Vangmayas Tvam Chinmaya, what is the depth of our speech? So let's say when I'll ask you, what do you want? Right? Anything for breakfast. You'll think, there's vague. Right? You've already got a sense of. I want something sweet this morning. A sense of. Right? Then you think, sweet. And then comes out some sweet dish, halwa. There has to be they say the speech starts here, right, in our gut. Even when actors and that are taught to speak, it's from here. When I say Tvam Vangmayas Tvam Chinmayaha, so first level of speech, here. Then a vague, it moves up. Then I know what it is, here. I know, I've understood it. It's full, it's complete, it's here, it's in the heart. Then it's here, my throat, and it comes out. So your speech means he's sitting here. But the process starts here. And that's why in some of the scriptures they'll say, where's Bhagwan? Mostly we'll say heart, but some will say in the navel. So when we say Tvam Chinmaya, Aham Chinmaya, where is it coming from? Here. Did it go down to here? Only you'll know. Did it go down to here? This is just physical, but it's going in. Right? It's actually not our body. Body is not who we are. It's going in. Annamaya kosha, manamaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, anandamaya. Is it gone? Is it coming from there? I am Chinmaya. When I say, where is it coming from? My core? My truth? Or from here? And sometimes when we buy out the scriptures, we say kantasta. The scriptures are sitting here. No point. What's the point of it sitting here? That's very shallow. We want it to be So the point of saying that the 4 levels of speech are all Ganesha, you don't get the full Ganesha till you go deep. If it's only here, we're only just scraping the surface. Upanishads are a blessing in our lives to hear and to continuously revel. I've given just ishara. These verses are far more profound. Sometimes when a baby is very, very, very small, the mother will bite the food and break it up and then give it to the baby. Before blenders and all of that were made. Now, of course, we would consider it very unhygienic. But mother would do it. Some of you might have even did it. It's too big for the kid. The kid won't be able to digest it. So, broken up and give it. Scriptures give us the chunk. Guru will break little and give. But then the chewing has to be done by, the swallowing has to be done by. What you've gotten is only ishara. You have to understand the rest. Upanishad's not yet over, but the punchy bits, there is more. Today's was the real Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.